guys, this is Sifu Nik from Ballistic Fighting Methods and StreetSafe101.com, and in this video I wanted to go over the fundamentals for the drill that we use called Carrenza. Okay, now Carrenza actually comes from the Filipino martial arts, but we use it in the Jeet Kune curriculum as a great drill for weapons development. All right, and Carrenza to me is like one of the easiest, hardest drills, period. Okay, it's very simple because there's really no rules to it, although there are some guidelines, but it's difficult because people complicate them in their own minds, and as a human being we have tendencies to stay in our comfort zone. And the idea behind Carrenza is to gain agility and mechanics and weapons familiarity, so you have to bring yourself into the uncomfortable territory. Okay, let me give you guys the guidelines for Carrenza. The first guideline is to have perpetual weapons movement. Okay, you don't want choppy motions. Okay, you want continuity in your motion. The second guideline is footwork. Okay, perpetual footwork. So even though you might have mastered how to move whatever weapon with your hands, you have to coordinate that with your feet. All right. So this is a great place to bring in your step slides, your female triangle, male triangle, retirada, whatever footwork you guys know. This is a great place to employ that. All right. Number 3 is direction and elevation change. Okay. So don't make this into a very linear drill, back and forth or straight on, straight back. Change directions, left, right, all the way around. Okay. So a fight goes 360 degrees. So you need to be able to move 360 degrees. All right. Number 4 is non-rhythmic movement, meaning don't do the same thing over and over and over and over. Try to add in different combinations. All right, different movements, different elements to it. All right. And number 5 is weapons category change, meaning sometimes a stick, sometimes a knife, sometimes a stick and knife, or double stick, double knife, open hand, belt, chain, bow staff, whatever you can get your hands on. All right, so play with it. All right, one of the things that we do here in at my studio is when I teach Carrenza, I take a bunch of stuff and I just throw it in the middle of the room. All right, and I tell everybody to grab something. And every minute I make them change. All right, so they drop whatever they have, they go pick up something else. And that might be a shoe, a belt, a t-shirt, a stick, a knife, a gun, could be anything. All right, we want to be able to have Carrenza with all different elements. Improvised weapons are included in that. All right, so make sure that you guys are changing the weapon. All right, so perpetual weapons movement, perpetual footwork, direction and elevation change, non-rhythmic pattern, and weapons category change. All right, those are the 5 basic guidelines to Carrenza. The next thing that you need to know is how to actually move the weapon. All right, so the first thing I teach is your 5 basic angles, which look like this. Angle 1 goes from top right to bottom left. Okay? Top right to bottom left. Angle 2 goes from top left to bottom right. So you kind of made an X, all right? 1, 2. Angle 3 will go straight across, right to left. Angle 4 will go straight across, left to right. And angle 5 is any kind of a thrust. Okay, or thrust with the punyo end. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, different Filipino Kali systems have different numerical allocations for the angle. Okay, meaning I'm saying this is angle 1 and angle 2. Other systems will say this is an angle 1 and this is an angle 2. All right, so that is up to you. The number really is an arbitrary thing, just something for us to call on and be familiar with. Okay, Here, I'm just showing you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you guys have something different, feel free to use it. The angles do not change with the weapon. Okay, so if I have a knife, then it will still be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so you have your 5 basic angles. The second element that I teach is 5 basic combinations. If you guys are instructors, okay, you can make your own combinations. I just go with these basic 5 because they seem very simple to do and they help bring out a particular body mechanic. First one that I teach is the Eki's pattern, okay, which is nothing but an angle 1 and angle 2, or an angle 2 and angle 1. It just makes an X, all right? So 1, 2, or 2 and 1, all right? The second combination that I teach looks just like a plus sign. It has a horizontal and a vertical member, all right? So overhead shot, straight across, or straight across, overhead shot upwards, straight across, okay? However you're making that plus sign, all right? Number 3 is an aldibus, which looks like an inverted figure 8. It's typically driven by the puño end of the stick, or the butt end of the stick. The elbow typically comes in tight against the rib cage or hip, and we drive this with our legs and our body. Okay, there's your aldibus pattern. All right. Number 4 is what I call a split circle or split S. Okay, let me step back here. It'll make it a little bit easier. Split S is half of one circle and another half of the other. Okay. So 50% of a circle, 50% of a circle. Half of the S, half of the S. Half of the S, half of the S. Okay, it could be big circle, small circle, 2 big circles, 2 small circles, whatever combination you guys can think of, okay, but it's just a split S, okay? And then the 5th one is combination thrusting, meaning a 5 and a 5, okay? So maybe I use the front end of the stick and then the puño end, or the puño end and then the fore end. That's up to you, okay? That's up to the individual who's doing it, okay? So far we have 5 basic angles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have 5 basic combinations. Ekis, bus, aldibus, split circle, and any 2 thrusts, okay? And last but not least, you guys are going to kind of laugh at this, I teach the alphabet, all right? When in doubt, if you can't think of any combination, because I want random movement, we want to force different angulations of the weapon and the body, I tell people go A through Z. Make an A, make a B, make a C, make a D, all the way down to Z, and then back. Okay, so those are the basics that I teach for learning how to use the weapon. Later on, we add in the other stuff, the witiks, the redanos, the abanicos, the live side, meaning you're striking with the unarmed parts of your body, and we kind of mix those things back in, all right? Okay, so let me show you guys a couple examples of bad Corenza and a couple examples of good Corenza, okay? Here's the first of the bad Corenza. You guys tell me. Is that good Corenza? The answer is no, because there's no footwork. There's no elevation and direction change, okay? Is this good Corenza? I had a little bit of footwork, but it was choppy. It did not have perpetual weapons movement. It did not have the fluidity. It did not have the flow, okay? So let's go over to some good Corenza, and I'm going to be kind of limited here by the camera angle, so bear with me here, okay? Is that better? Yes, it is. We had all elements, right? We had the weapons movement, we had footwork, we had direction and elevation change, we had non-rhythmic movement, meaning I didn't do the same thing over and over. The only thing that I didn't have on that was weapons category change, and that's okay, all right? So take those elements, keep practicing, open up some space, go in a confined space, do it outside, in the snow, in the grass, gravel, asphalt, mats, whatever you guys have, keep plugging stuff in, and your Carrenza is going to change. Practice 5-10 minutes a day. By the end of the week, you'll have a brand new understanding of the weapon. Best of luck. I'll see you guys soon.